They told us the land was discovered. They told us they were the first to step foot here. They told us it was empty before they arrived. But you know, what if everything they told us was a lie? What if Turtle Island, the land now known as America, wasn't discovered, but stolen? Before the first Europeans set sail, there was already life here. Not just any life, but a sophisticated, thriving culture with its own systems, economies, and sacred knowledge. The people of Turtle Island, the Indigenous, had lived here for millennia. They didn't discover land that was already home. They lived with the land, connected deeply to its rhythms, and thrived with its energy. From the Northeast to the Great Plains and across California to Florida, the Indigenous Nations lived in harmony with the earth, using their knowledge of the stars, the seasons, and the land to sustain themselves. They knew the power of the land, its frequencies, its energy. They used it to grow, heal, and flourish. But before the Europeans claimed Turtle Island as their own, the Moors, the black, Muslim African empire builders, were already traveling the seas far beyond Africa. These were not just explorers. These were civilizers, builders, architects of knowledge who knew how to harness the power of the elements. They didn't just trade goods, they traded ideas, science, and the blueprint for civilization itself. The Moors sailed across oceans and they reached the Americas before Columbus. They navigated the high seas using the stars and left their mark across North Africa, Spain, and parts of the Americas, building societies of knowledge. But as their influence spread, colonization began. The Moors, like other indigenous people, were eventually erased, their stories written out of history. And then came Columbus, the Spanish, the Portuguese, the French, and the British. They came with guns, they came with disease. But most importantly, they came with a lie. The lie that this land was theirs for the taking. The lie that the people here were primitive, uncivilized, and ready to be dominated. But they couldn't have been more wrong. Turtle Island was never empty. It was filled with civilizations far older, more sustainable, and infinitely more connected to the land than anything the invaders brought with them. For centuries, the indigenous people fought to protect their land, their culture, and their knowledge. And yet, they were forced into submission, erased from the historical record. But the land never forgets, and neither do the people. In the name of progress, the land was turned into a commodity. In the name of capitalism, its resources were stolen, and in the name of freedom, the people of Turtle Island were enslaved, murdered, and systematically erased. But here's the truth. America was never the land of the free. It was the land of the stolen. The truth is there, waiting to be uncovered. And those who tried to keep us silent, tried to bury us under a heap of lies, are running scared. They know what happens when we wake up. They know the power of the people when we finally realize the land, the knowledge, and the resources were always ours. And now we are reclaiming that power. What you see in the world today, the corruption, the inequality, the oppression, it's all a result of us forgetting who we are. But it's time to rebuild. Time to take our land back. Time to build new systems that empower our people. We don't need to conquer. We need to connect. Turtle Island is ours. The past was stolen, but the future can still be ours. It's time to separate from the systems that oppress us. It's time to create our own schools, our own hospitals, our own economy. The question is not, can we? The question is, will we? If you're ready to stand up and reclaim what's rightfully yours, join the movement. Reclaim your freedom, your land, and your truth. We're not asking permission. We're taking back what's ours. Unfiltered, unapologetic, unplugged from the lie. It's time to wake up. It's time to break free. Click below, subscribe, and join the revolution. Together, we will rewrite the story of Turtle Island. This is our land. It always has been.